Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. College football fans, I know you are ready for week one of college football. Tonight, we got games, y'all. We got games. I'm looking forward to seeing what NC State is looking like because that was one of my sleeper teams in the ACC. So I'm anxious to see what they're looking like tonight. Also, we got Kansas and Jalon Daniels. I want to see if this young man is ready to put that team on his back and lead Kansas to the Big 12 championship and possibly a college football playoff. Now, y'all know we ain't never heard about Kansas trying to get that far. In basketball, yeah, of course, but not football. But they have a team that could win the Big 12. Also, I'm anxious to see Missouri. Missouri was a very good football team last year, and they still have a lot of talent on that football team, especially at the quarterback position, and they have one of the best wide receivers in college football. I want to see what they're looking like tonight when they play. Also, tonight we got Utah, my favorite to win the Big 12. In an earlier video, I talked about how physical Utah plays the game of football, and that's probably what is going to help them win the Big 12. And I think there's a very good chance that them and Kansas will meet for the Big 12 championship. So tonight we got football. So I know you're going to be glued to the TV watching those games tonight. Also, we got a big game with Oklahoma tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those Oklahoma Sooners are looking like. They are rivals to my Texas Longhorns. So I want to get a glimpse and see what Mr. Arnold is doing at that quarterback position for Oklahoma and to see if they've improved that defense and if their offensive line is any good, seeing that they replaced all five players on the offensive line. Now, Saturday, we have what I think are five huge games on the Saturday slate. The first one is number 14 Clemson versus number one Georgia. And Georgia is favored by 13 and a half points. Clemson, I hope you can cover and keep those Georgia Bulldogs from beating you by more than 13 and a half points. I don't know if that's a good bet or not, college football fans. I would probably take Georgia because I really don't know what Clemson's mindset is. I'm picking Georgia to win that game, but I'm not sure if they're going to cover or not. But if I was a betting man, I would probably put my money on the Georgia Bulldogs. The next game that I think is going to be a good game because West Virginia is a very good football team. They may not be the caliber of the elite, but they have a good football team. And I think Mr. Brown, their coach, same last name, so I got to root for him, has a good football team, and he's an excellent coach. Even though he was on the hot seat a couple of years ago, I think he's turned that thing around at West Virginia, and they play Penn State. And Penn State got to travel to West Virginia, Morgantown. And if you ever been to a West Virginia football game, their fans are lit. And trust me, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning, they will be lit. And they will be ready to cheer on their West Virginia Mountaineers against the Penn State Nittany Lions. I think Penn State is going to win this game. They're favored by 8.5. If I was a betting man, I would put West Virginia because I don't think West Virginia is going to lose this game by more than one score. I would pick West Virginia in this game. The next one, ooh, it's a good game. Even though Florida's not ranked, it's a good game, a battle of Florida between the 19 ranked Miami Hurricanes against the Florida Gators. We got my boy Justin Geiger's team, my boy KT's team, my boy Tim Muhammad's team against my boy Andre Cray's team, my boy Larry Battle's team, and the Florida Gators. And Miami is favored by 3 points. 3 points that I believe Miami will cover and beat this game against the Florida Gators. So I'm taking Miami in this game by more than 3, but not by more than 7. I think it's going to be a good game because Florida, although they have a tough schedule, they have a lot of talent still on that team, even though they lost a lot in the portal and they lost a lot of recruits that are committed to them early last year but decided to go elsewhere. But I'm picking Miami to cover and to win that game by more than 3. The next game is number 7 Notre Dame against number 20 Texas A&M. And Texas A&M is favored by 2.5 points. I believe that Notre Dame is going to lose this game. Sorry, Melissa Graham. Sorry, Gregory family. Down in Elkhart, down in Mishawaka, down in South Bend, on my father's side of the family, I'm sorry, but Notre Dame is not going to win this game against the Texas A&M Aggies. Now, I'm a Longhorns fan, and I don't particularly care for the Texas A&M Aggies, but as all great fans are, you always want your rival to have a good record when y'all play each other so that you can hand them another L or even the first L if they're undefeated at that point. So I want Texas A&M to win this game. I believe they will cover that 2.5 points, and I want them to have the best record possible when they meet my Texas Longhorns. So it looks like it's a good win on our schedule against our rival, Texas A&M. So I'm taking them to cover and to win this game. The last game I want to talk about is number 23 USC versus number 13 LSU. And LSU is favored by 4.5 points. And I believe that line is set that way because of the physicality of LSU versus the non-physicality of the USC Trojans. Sorry, Donnie Spiller. Sorry, nephew Trey. But LSU is going to be too physical for your boys when they come into LSU. And I think they're going to take it on the chin and they're going to lose by at least 7 points because of the physicality of LSU is going to be too much for the USC Trojans. Even though I believe Riley is going to come in there with an offense that can put up some points. It's just their defense ain't going to be able to stop nobody. And LSU is going to be able to run out the clock with the running game to keep USC from getting back on the field and scoring a game-winning score to win that game. So I'm excited that we got college football starting tonight. We got a game tomorrow on Friday with Oklahoma. And then we got a slate of really good games that I just covered on Saturday. So I'm excited about that. I also want to let all the subscribers and the fans know, listen, I got the crew together. So every week on Wednesday nights, we are going to discuss the key games of the week. We're going to give our predictions. We're going to give our thoughts. And we're going to share who we think is going to win. And I think we're going to call it Who You Picking. And I got about 7 of my buddies that's coming on every Wednesday night around 8 p.m. to discuss those games that are going to be played that week in college football. So I covered week 1 this week, but the crew will be together to cover week 2 and all the way to the end of the college football season and into the college football playoffs. Once again, I want to thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing. And those of you who have watched who have not subscribed yet, it costs no money to subscribe. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. I have several of my friends who have asked me, does it cost if I subscribe? It costs you absolutely nothing. Just hit the subscribe button, and every video that you watch, try to watch it in its entirety. The longer you watch, the more credit we get with YouTube, and the better our channel can grow. So please watch those videos to the end, even if you have to walk away from it and come back to it if you got errands to run or you got things to do. And make sure you hit the like button. So without any further delay, hook 'em.